This is a story about a son who loved his mother very, very much. The son's name was Ben. His mother's name was Esther. Ben was a very good son. He worked very hard, and because he worked so hard, he had a lot of money. So much money. He could buy anything he wanted. He could buy big houses and fast cars and tall buildings. He was a billionaire. But the most important thing in the whole wide world to Ben was his mother, Esther. Esther was a kind woman. She had a soft voice and a warm smile. Her hair was white like soft cotton, and her hands were gentle. She had been a very good mother to Ben. When Ben was a little boy, she always made him warm food. She always read him stories before he went to sleep. She loved Ben with all of her heart. Now, Esther was old. She was not as strong as she used to be. She needed someone to take care of her. Ben wanted his mother to have the best life, so he bought her a beautiful house. The house was very big. It had a big garden with many red flowers and yellow flowers. It had a big kitchen with a shiny new stove. It had a living room with a very soft sofa and a big television. Ben told his mother, "Mother, this house is for you. I want you to be happy and comfortable. I do not want you to worry about anything." Esther was very happy. She loved the house. She loved her son, Ben. But Ben was a very busy man. His work made him travel to faraway places. He would go away for many weeks, sometimes for many months. Esther was all alone in the big, beautiful house. She was lonely. She missed her son very much. Every day, she would sit by the window and wait for Ben to come home. Ben knew his mother was lonely. He worried about her being alone. So Ben thought of a plan. Ben had a wife. His wife's name was Monica. Monica was very beautiful. She had a big, bright smile and long, dark hair. Ben loved Monica very much. He thought she was a kind and good person. He thought to himself, "I will ask my wife, Monica, to go and live with my mother. Then my mother will not be lonely. Monica will be a friend to her. She will take good care of my dear mother while I am away." So Ben went to his wife, Monica. He said, "Monica, my love, my mother is all alone in her big house. It makes my heart sad to think of her being so lonely. Will you please go and stay with her? Will you be her friend and take care of her for me?" When Monica heard this, she smiled her big, bright smile. She hugged Ben and said, "Oh, Ben, of course I will. I love your mother. It would make me so happy to take care of her. Do not worry about a thing. I will make sure she is happy and safe." Ben was so happy. His heart was filled with joy. He believed his wife. He believed Monica would be a good daughter to his mother. He gave Monica a lot of money for food and for anything the house needed. He said, "Buy my mother nice things. Buy her her favorite foods. Make sure she is always comfortable." And Monica said, "Yes, Ben, I will. I promise." But here is a secret, a very sad secret. Monica's heart was not as beautiful as her face. When Ben was there, she was sweet and kind. But when Ben was not there, her heart was different. Her heart was cold. She did not really love Ben's mother, Esther. She was not happy to take care of an old woman. She wanted the big house and the money for herself. She had a secret plan in her mind, a plan that she never told Ben. This secret was a dark one, and it was the reason for all the sadness that was about to come. So Ben went on his long trip for his work. He flew on his big airplane to a city that was far, far away. He was gone for 1 month, then 2 months. During this time, he would call the house. Monica would always answer the phone. She would say, "Everything is wonderful, Ben. Your mother and I are having a lovely time. We are like best friends. She is happy and healthy. Do not worry." Ben believed her. His mind was at peace. But at the house, things were not wonderful. As soon as Ben was gone, Monica changed. Her smile disappeared. Her voice became hard and cold. She did not cook warm food for Esther. She gave her cold bread and old soup. She did not talk to Esther with a kind voice. She would shout at her. She would say, "Old woman, clean the floor. Old woman, wash the dishes." Esther was old and her body was weak. It was very hard for her to do these things. Esther was very sad. Her heart was broken. She was scared of Monica. She would cry in her room when she was alone. She missed her son Ben more than ever. She wanted to tell him what was happening. But she was scared. Monica told her, "If you ever tell Ben anything, I will do something very bad to you. He will not believe you. He loves me, not you." So Esther kept quiet. She suffered in silence in her big, beautiful house that was now like a prison. Now, Ben finished his work in the faraway city much sooner than he thought. He was so excited. He thought to himself, "I will not call them. I will go home and give them a big surprise. Oh, my mother and my wife will be so happy to see me." He was filled with joy. He imagined hugging his mother so tight. He imagined kissing his wife. He imagined them all sitting together, happy in the beautiful house. So Ben got on his big airplane. He flew for many, many hours across the big blue sky. The whole time, he was smiling. He was thinking of home. When the airplane landed, he got in a car and drove straight to the house. He did not call. He did not text. It was a perfect surprise. He saw the house from the road. It looked so peaceful. The red and yellow flowers were bright in the sun. Ben got out of the car. He walked very quietly to the front door. He used his own key to open the door. He opened it very slowly and very silently. He did not want to make a sound. He stepped inside. The house was very quiet. He thought, maybe they are in the garden or taking a nap. He wanted to shout, "I'm home!" But he stopped. He wanted to find them first. He walked quietly through the big living room. Then he heard a sound. It was coming from the back of the house, from his mother's bedroom. It was not a happy sound. It was the sound of a woman crying. A soft, sad cry. Ben's heart started to beat fast. That was his mother's cry. Then he heard another sound. It was Monica's voice. But it was not her sweet voice. It was a cold, angry voice. "I told you to finish the laundry," the angry voice said. "Why are you so slow and useless?" Then Ben heard another sound. It was a strange sound, a sharp, loud sound. Whack! It was a sound that did not belong in a happy home. It was a terrible sound. And with that sound, his mother, Esther, cried out in pain. Ben's blood turned to ice. He forgot all about his surprise. He forgot all about his happiness. All he could feel was a sudden, terrible fear. He started to run. He ran down the long hallway, towards the sound, towards his mother's room. He did not know what he was going to see, but he knew, in that very moment, that something was terribly, terribly wrong. He pushed open the door to his mother's room, and what he saw broke his heart into a million pieces. Ben pushed open the door. He stood in the doorway of his mother's room. For a moment, he could not move. He could not speak. His eyes saw everything, all at once. It was like a picture, a very sad and terrible picture. He saw his wife, Monica. She was standing up tall. Her face was angry. In her hand, she was holding a dark leather belt. It was raised in the air. And there, on the edge of the bed, was his mother. His dear mother, Esther. She was small and hunched over. Her shoulders were shaking. He could see that she was crying. Her white hair was messy. Her face was filled with fear and with sadness. She looked so helpless, so very, very helpless. Ben's heart, which was so happy just a moment ago, now felt like it had been hit with a big, heavy stone. When Monica heard the door open, she turned around. Her angry face changed very quickly. First, it was a face of surprise. Then, it was a face of pure fear. Her eyes got very big, like two big plates. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She saw Ben standing there. The husband she thought was far, far away. The belt was still in her hand. She froze, like a statue. Ben took one step into the room, then another. He did not shout. He did not run. He walked slowly. His eyes were locked on Monica, but he was not looking at her beautiful face. He was looking at the belt in her hand. And he was looking at the red mark on his mother's frail arm. A long red line. A mark that should not have been there. A feeling started deep inside Ben's chest. It was hot, like a fire. The fire moved up into his throat and into his head. It was anger. An anger so big and so strong that it made his whole body tremble. But his voice, when he finally spoke, was quiet. It was a very, very quiet and dangerous voice. "Monica," he said, and his voice was low. "What are you doing?" Monica started to shake. She quickly dropped the belt on the floor as if it was on fire. The sound was small, but in the quiet room, it sounded very loud. She tried to smile, her beautiful smile, but it was a broken, ugly smile. It did not reach her eyes. Her eyes were filled with panic. "Ben, my love, you're home," she said, her voice high and shaky. "Oh, this is a surprise. This is not what it looks like. I promise you, it's a misunderstanding. Your mother, she fell. Yes, she fell, and the belt was on the floor, and I was just picking it up for her. That's all. I was helping her." Ben did not look at her. He did not believe her words. The lie was so big and so clear. He kept walking slowly until he was right in front of her. He was much taller than she was. He looked down at her, and his face was like stone. It had no smile, no love, only a deep, deep disappointment. "You are lying," Ben said. The words were simple. They were quiet. But they hit Monica harder than any shout ever could. Then Ben did something. He bent down. He picked up the belt from the floor. He held it in his hand. He looked at it. This was the belt he used to wear with his nice suits. Now it was a weapon used against the person he loved most in the world. He looked from the belt to Monica's scared face, and then to his mother, who was still crying softly on the bed. He did not look at Monica again. He turned his back on her. He walked over to his mother, Esther. He dropped the belt in a trash can in the corner of the room. He did not want to see it anymore. He knelt down on the floor in front of his mother. He was a billionaire, a powerful man who owned buildings and companies. But right now, he was just a son whose heart was breaking for his mother. "Mother," he said, and his voice was now soft. So soft, it was filled with love and with pain. "Mother, look at me." Esther slowly lifted her head. Her eyes were red from crying. When she saw her son, Ben, kneeling in front of her, a fresh wave of tears came down her face. But these were not tears of fear anymore. They were tears of relief, tears of safety. Her protector was here. Her son was home. "Ben," she whispered, her voice cracking. "You came back." "I came back, Mother," he said. He gently took her small, wrinkled hands in his own big, strong hands. He saw the red mark on her arm up close, and he saw another one on her other arm. He felt the fire of anger in his chest again, but he pushed it down. Right now, his mother needed comfort. She did not need anger. He carefully pulled her into a hug. He was very gentle, afraid he might hurt her. He held his old, frail mother in his arms. He could feel her shaking. He just held her. He closed his eyes and rested his cheek on her soft white hair. In the background, he could hear Monica starting to cry. She was making loud, sobbing sounds. She was trying to get his attention. "Ben, please, please listen to me," Monica cried. "She's lying. The old woman is lying to you to turn you against me. I was good to her. I swear I was." Ben did not turn around. He did not let go of his mother. He spoke to his mother in a soft whisper, so only she could hear. "Is it true, Mother? Did she hurt you?" Esther just cried into his shoulder and nodded her head. Yes, that one small movement was all the proof Ben needed. His mother would never lie. He held her a little tighter. He felt a deep shame inside him. Shame that he had left her here. Shame that he had trusted the wrong person. Shame that he did not know his mother was suffering. He let go of the hug and looked into his mother's eyes. "No one will ever hurt you again," he promised her. "I am here now. I will not leave you. You are safe." He used his thumb to gently wipe the tears from her wrinkled cheeks. He stood up. He turned around to face his wife, Monica, for the first time since he walked past her. She was standing by the door, her face a mess of fake tears and real fear. She saw the look on his face. It was a look she had never seen before. The love was gone. The warmth was gone. All that was left was cold, hard ice. "Get out of this room," Ben said to her. His voice was calm. "Go to the living room and wait for me. Do not say another word to my mother." Monica opened her mouth to argue, to lie some more, but she saw the look in his eyes, and she closed it. She knew it was useless. She turned and walked out of the room, still making her loud, sobbing sounds. Ben watched her go. Then he closed the bedroom door, leaving just him and his mother in the quiet room. He went back to his mother and sat on the bed beside her. He took her hand again. For a long time, they just sat in silence. The only sound was the soft ticking of a clock on the wall. Ben wanted his mother to feel safe. He wanted the peace to return to her heart. After many minutes, he spoke. "Mother," he said gently, "can you tell me what happened? From the beginning, please do not be afraid." And so, Esther began to talk. She told him everything. She told him in her small, quiet voice. She told him how Monica changed the day he left, how the smiles stopped, how the kind words turned into shouts. She told him about the cold food. She told him about being forced to clean the big house when her old bones were aching. She told him how Monica would take the money Ben sent, but spend it all on herself, on new dresses and expensive things, while she gave Esther nothing. She told him how scared she was, how lonely she felt, and then she told him about the hitting, that it did not start today, that it had happened before, when she was too slow, or when she had dropped a plate. She showed him old bruises on her arms, faded and yellow, marks of old pain that she had hidden under long sleeves. With every word his mother spoke, Ben's heart broke a little more. Each word was like a sharp knife, cutting him deeper and deeper. He had been living in a happy dream, while his mother had been living in a terrible nightmare, and it was all his fault. He had brought the monster into her home. He listened to everything, and he did not interrupt. He just held her hand, letting her know he was listening to every single word. When she was finished, she looked at him with tired, sad eyes. "I am so sorry, Ben," she whispered. I did not want to make you sad." Ben shook his head. He felt his own tears welling up in his eyes. "No, Mother," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "I am the one who is sorry. I am so, so sorry. I failed you, but I will make it right. I promise you, I will make everything right." He stood up. He felt a new strength inside him. It was not the fire of anger anymore. It was the calm, strong power of a decision. He knew exactly what he had to do. He kissed his mother on her forehead. "I need you to rest now, Mother," he said. "Lock this door behind me. Do not open it for anyone but me. I am going to go and talk to Monica. I am going to end this today." Ben walked out of his mother's room. He closed the door gently behind him. He heard the small click of the lock, and he felt a little bit better. His mother was safe in her room. Now, he had to take care of the problem. The problem was waiting for him in the living room. As he walked down the long hallway, each step was heavy. The happy, beautiful house now felt cold and dark. The pictures on the wall of him and Monica smiling together seemed to mock him. They were pictures of a lie. He walked into the living room. The room was big and filled with expensive things. A big, soft sofa, a beautiful glass table, a thick, soft rug on the floor. But none of these things felt nice anymore. Monica was sitting on the edge of the expensive sofa. She was not crying anymore. Her face was pale. She had been thinking. She was trying to find a way out of her trouble. When she saw Ben walk into the room, she stood up quickly. "Ben?" she started, her voice trying to sound sweet again. "My love, please, let me explain. Your mother, she gets confused sometimes. She is old. She doesn't remember things correctly. She makes up stories. I would never, ever hurt her. You have to believe me. I love you." Ben did not walk towards her. He stood on the other side of the room, near the large window. He looked at her, and his face was calm. But his eyes were not calm. His eyes were like two pieces of cold, hard stone. He did not believe her lies anymore. He could see right through them. He could see the real Monica now. The selfish, cruel person she had hidden from him for so long. "Stop talking, Monica," Ben said. His voice was not loud, but it filled the entire room. "There is nothing you can say. I heard you. I saw you. And most important of all, my mother told me everything, every single thing." Monica's face changed. The fake sweetness disappeared. A flicker of anger appeared in her eyes. "So you believe her?" she asked, her voice getting a little louder. "You believe a confused old woman over me, over your own wife, after everything I have done for you? I left my life to come here and take care of her. This is the thanks I get?" Ben slowly shook his head. He was not surprised by her anger. He was only sad, sad that he had been so blind for so long. "Done for me?" he asked, his voice still quiet and calm. "You did not do this for me, Monica. You did this for yourself. You liked this big house. You liked the money I gave you. You liked living a life of comfort. But you did not want the responsibility. You did not want to care for the kind woman who gave me life." He took a step forward. "I gave you my trust, Monica. That was the most valuable thing I could give you. More valuable than this house, more valuable than all my money. And you took that trust, and you broke it into tiny pieces. You used my love for you as a shield, so you could be cruel to my mother behind my back." Monica looked scared again. She saw that her anger was not working. She decided to try crying again. Big tears started to roll down her cheeks. "No, Ben, no," she sobbed. "It was hard. She was difficult. She would complain all the time. She made messes. I was stressed. I was all alone. I made a mistake. Just one mistake. Please, Ben, please forgive me. We can fix this. I will be better, I promise. I love you so much." She took a step towards him, her hands reaching out for him. But Ben put up his hand, a clear sign for her to stop. "No," he said. The word was final, like a judge hitting a gavel. "There is no fixing this. Some things, when they are broken, cannot be put back together. My trust in you is one of those things. My mother's safety is not a mistake. It is everything. You hurt her. You scared her. You made her home a place of fear. For that, there is no forgiveness." Ben walked over to the phone that was on a small table. He picked it up. Monica watched him, her eyes wide with fear. She did not know who he was calling. "What are you doing?" she whispered. Ben did not look at her. He started to dial a number. "I am calling my lawyer," he said calmly. "I am going to tell him to start the divorce papers. Immediately." When Monica heard the word divorce, all of her sadness and all of her fake tears disappeared instantly. Her face became a mask of pure rage. The real Monica was finally here. "Divorce?" she screamed, her voice ugly and loud. "You cannot divorce me! I am your wife! You think you can just throw me out? I will take you for everything you have. I will take half of your money. I will take this house. You will regret this, Ben. I will tell everyone that you abandoned your wife for your crazy old mother. I will ruin you." Ben did not react to her screaming. He finished dialing the number and started speaking into the phone. His voice was still calm and professional. "Hello, Robert? It's Ben. Yes, I am back. Listen, I need you to do something for me right away. I need you to file for divorce. Yes, irreconcilable differences." Monica was still screaming threats in the background, but Ben ignored her, as if she was just a buzzing fly in the room. He continued to speak on the phone. "And Robert, there is one more thing. I need you to look into the prenuptial agreement we signed, the clause about cruelty and mistreatment of a family member. I believe it is very, very relevant now." At the mention of the word prenuptial agreement, Monica stopped screaming. Her face went completely white. She had forgotten all about that. The paper she signed so long ago when they got married. She thought it was just a piece of paper, a formality. She did not read the small words carefully. The clause Ben was talking about was a special one he had his lawyer put in. It said that if one person was cruel to the other person's family, they would get nothing in the divorce. Nothing at all. Ben finished his call. He put the phone down. He looked at Monica. Her face was a picture of defeat. The anger was gone. The fake sadness was gone. All that was left was the cold, hard truth. She had lost. She had lost everything because of her greed and her cruelty. "You have 1 hour, Monica," Ben said, his voice leaving no room for argument. 1 hour to pack a small bag with your personal things. Only the things you came here with. The clothes, the jewelry, the cars, everything I bought for you will stay. My driver will be here in 1 hour to take you to a hotel. My lawyer will send the rest of your things to you later. After that, I never want to see you again. And you will never, ever set foot in this house again." Monica just stared at him. She had no words left. No tricks, no lies. She had been so sure of her power over him, so sure of his love. Now she saw that she had destroyed it all. She looked around the beautiful room, the room that she thought was hers. She looked at Ben, the man she thought she could control. She had made a terrible mistake. She had hurt the one person in the world he would protect above all others. She slowly turned, without saying another word. She walked like a ghost out of the living room and up the stairs to the bedroom they once shared. The fight was over. Ben stood alone in the quiet living room. He did not feel happy. He did not feel like a winner. He just felt empty and very, very tired. He had removed the monster from his house. Now, he had to go and heal the person she had hurt. He walked back to his mother's bedroom door. He knocked softly. "Mother," he said gently, "it's me, Ben. It's over. She is leaving." He heard the lock click open. He opened the door and went inside, ready to begin the long journey of making things right. Ben walked into his mother's room and closed the door behind him. The room was quiet and safe. His mother, Esther, was sitting in a comfortable chair by the window. She had a blanket over her lap. She looked up at him, her eyes still a little bit sad, but the fear was gone. She was not shaking anymore. A little bit of peace had returned to her face. Ben walked over and pulled up another chair so he could sit right next to her. He did not say anything at first. He just sat with her. They watched the birds playing in the garden outside the window. A small blue bird landed on a branch. It sang a happy song. It felt like the house could be happy again. It felt like a new beginning. After a few minutes of comfortable silence, Ben turned to his mother. He spoke in a very gentle voice. "Mother," he said, "I am so sorry. I am sorry for everything. I should have been here. I should have known." Esther reached out her small, wrinkled hand and placed it on top of his big, strong one. She gave his hand a little pat. "It is not your fault, Ben," she said softly. "You have a good heart. You trusted her. You wanted me to be happy. Your heart was in the right place." Ben shook his head. "But my eyes were not, Mother," he said with great sadness. "I was blind. I saw only what I wanted to see. I did not see her true heart, and because of that, you suffered. I will never forgive myself for the pain you went through." Esther gave him a small, weak smile. It was the first time he had seen her smile since he came home. It was like a little ray of sunshine. "The pain is going away now, my son," she said, "because you are here. Your being here is the best medicine for me. It is all I ever wanted." Ben's heart felt a little lighter hearing those words. He knew he had a lot of work to do. He had to rebuild the trust and happiness in his own home. He had to make his mother feel like a queen in her own house again, not a prisoner. "Things are going to be different now, Mother," he said, his voice full of promise. "Very different. I am not going to travel so much anymore. I will work from home right here. I will be here for you every single day. We will have breakfast together. We will have dinner together. We will sit in the garden and watch the flowers grow." Esther's eyes filled with happy tears. "Oh, Ben," she whispered, "that would be wonderful." "And we are going to get some help," Ben continued. "But this time, we will find the right person. We will find a kind nurse, a woman with a good heart and a warm smile, who can help you during the day. And we will find a chef who can cook all of your favorite foods. Warm soup, and baked bread, and sweet apple pie. You will never have to eat cold bread again." He saw his mother's face light up at the thought of apple pie. A little bit of her old spirit was coming back. This made Ben so happy. Just then, they heard the sound of a car in the driveway. It was the driver Ben had called. He had arrived to take Monica away. Ben stood up. "I will be right back, Mother," he said. "I just have to make sure the trash is taken out." He walked out of the room. He saw Monica standing by the front door. She had one small bag with her. She looked at him with empty eyes. There was no anger left, no sadness, just nothing. She knew she had lost. Ben did not say a word to her. He simply opened the front door for her. The driver was waiting outside. Monica walked out of the house. She did not look back. The driver put her bag in the car. She got in. The car door closed. Ben watched as the car drove down the long driveway and turned onto the street, disappearing from his life forever. When the car was gone, Ben closed the front door. It felt like he was closing a door on a very bad dream. He took a deep breath. The air in the house already felt cleaner, lighter. He went back to his mother's room. She was still sitting by the window, watching the little blue bird. Ben smiled. He knew he had made the right decision. His mother was his world, and his world was finally safe again. Over the next few days, Ben kept all of his promises. He canceled all of his trips. He had his office moved to a room in the house. Every morning, he would make breakfast for his mother himself. He would make her oatmeal with honey and fresh fruit. They would sit at the kitchen table and talk. She would tell him stories about when he was a little boy, and he would tell her about his work. He also hired new people to help. He was very, very careful this time. He did not look for fancy people. He looked for kind people. He hired a nurse named Sarah. Sarah was a woman in her 50s. She had a kind, smiling face and a very gentle voice. She reminded Ben of a friendly grandmother. She and Esther became friends very quickly. They would sit and talk for hours. He also hired a chef named David. David was a jolly man who loved to cook. He asked Esther what all of her favorite foods were. He made her delicious soups, soft roasted chicken, and every afternoon he baked something sweet. The house started to smell like a home again. It smelled of baking bread and cinnamon and happiness. Ben watched his mother change. Day by day, she became stronger. The sadness in her eyes was replaced with a sparkle. The weakness in her body was replaced with new energy. She started taking walks in the garden with Sarah, pointing out her favorite flowers. She started to laugh again. Her laugh was a beautiful sound. It was the best sound in the world to Ben. One afternoon, Ben was in his new office, working on his computer. His mother and Sarah were in the living room. He could hear them laughing about something on the television. He stopped his work and just listened. He closed his eyes and smiled. This was what a home should sound like. This was what happiness was. It wasn't about having a lot of money or a big house. It was about love. It was about safety. It was about the sound of his mother laughing. Later that day, Ben went to see his mother. She was knitting a scarf. It was bright blue. "Who is that for, Mother?" Ben asked. She looked up at him and smiled her warm, loving smile. "It's for you, my son," she said, "to keep you warm, because you have warmed my heart." Ben felt a lump in his throat. He sat down next to her and gave her a gentle hug. He felt so much love for this wonderful woman. He had almost lost her. He had almost let her light go out because of his blindness. But now he was here to protect that light. He would never let anyone dim it again. He knew that the scars of what happened would take time to fully heal. But they had taken the first steps on a new path. A path filled with love, respect, and the sweet smell of apple pie. And for now, that was more than enough. Weeks turned into months. The big, beautiful house was no longer just a house. It was a home. It was filled with warmth, with laughter, and with the wonderful smell of good food. The memory of Monica became like a distant, bad dream that fades away when you wake up in the sun. The sadness was gone. Only peace was left. Ben worked from his home office every day, just as he had promised. He was still a billionaire. He was still a very important man in the world of business. But he learned that the most important business was the business of family. The most important meeting of his day was sitting with his mother in the garden, drinking a cup of tea. His mother, Esther, was like a flower that had been given water after a long drought. She blossomed. With Sarah, the kind nurse, by her side, she grew stronger and happier every day. She started a small vegetable patch in the garden. She would sit in her chair and tell Sarah where to plant the carrots and the beans. She loved watching them grow. It made her feel useful and happy. One sunny afternoon, Ben finished his work early. He went to find his mother. She was in the living room, sitting on the soft sofa, showing Sarah pictures in an old photo album. Ben sat down with them. The album was full of pictures of Ben when he was a little boy. There he was, with a missing front tooth, holding a small puppy. There he was, on his first day of school, with a backpack almost as big as he was. Esther pointed to a picture of a little Ben standing next to her. They were both smiling. "I remember that day," she said, her voice filled with love. "You had made me a necklace out of macaroni for my birthday. You were so proud. You told me it was the most expensive necklace in the world because it was made with love." Ben smiled. He remembered that day too. "It was true, Mother," he said softly. "It was. And it still is." Looking at the pictures, Ben realized something very important. His mother had spent her whole life taking care of him. She had protected him. She had loved him. She had made sure he was always safe and happy. Now it was his turn to do the same for her. It was not a duty. It was not a chore. It was an honor. It was the most important job he would ever have. A few days later, Ben received a letter from his lawyer. The divorce was final. As the prenuptial agreement said, Monica got nothing. She did not get the house. She did not get the cars. She did not get any of his money. She had left his life completely. Ben read the letter and felt no anger, no happiness. He just felt closure. That chapter of his life was over. He put the letter away and did not think about it again. That evening, as the sun began to set, Ben and his mother were sitting on the porch. The sky was painted with beautiful colors of orange, pink, and purple. The air was cool and sweet. "Ben," Esther said quietly, looking at the beautiful sunset, "I am so happy." "Me too, Mother," Ben said, putting his arm around her shoulder. "Me too. I want to thank you," she continued, "not just for saving me from before, but for this, for being here, for talking with me, for making me feel loved. You have given me the greatest gift of all. You have given me my son back." Ben felt his heart fill up with so much love, he thought it might burst. He hugged her gently. "You never lost me, Mother," he whispered. "I was just a little bit lost myself. But you helped me find my way back home." They sat there for a long time, watching the last of the sun disappear, and the first stars begin to shine in the dark blue sky. The house was lit up behind them, a warm and welcoming beacon of light. It was a picture of perfect peace. Dear viewers, and so our story comes to an end. It is a story with a very important lesson. Sometimes the richest people in the world are not the ones with the most money. The truly rich are the ones who have love. They are the ones who take care of their family. Ben was a billionaire, yes, but he learned that his greatest treasure was not in his bank account. It was sitting right there beside him, on the porch. It was his mother. The story teaches us that we must always protect the ones who are weak and helpless. We must honor our mothers and our fathers, and we must never be blinded by a beautiful face or sweet words. We must always look for a beautiful heart, for in the end, a beautiful heart is the only thing that truly matters. It is the only thing that can make a house a home, and the only thing that can make a life truly rich. If you enjoyed this story, whether it gave you chills, made you think, or maybe even brought a tear to your eye, don't forget to hit that like button right now. It really helps the channel grow and lets us know you want more stories like this. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss a new tale we drop every week. We've got more twists, turns, and unforgettable characters coming your way. Now we want to hear from you. What did you think of the story? Who was your favorite character? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. Also, if you know someone who loves a good story, share this video with them. Let's get the community growing. Thanks so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next one. At Virtuous Stories, we love you.